Yeah. Okay, Erev Tov Rabbi Sai. A number of questions that have come up in the last couple of hours, the last day and a half, relating to Bedika's Chametz, which is not that different from every year, Bedika's Chametz, but people get confused this year for two reasons. The reason that people get confused first and foremost this year is because it is not on Erev Pesach, it is the day before Erev Pesach. But that's not really the concern. The concern is that there's a lot more travel that happens this year. Because when you have Erev Pesach Shechal Yos B'Shabbos, so you have a long Chol Hamoed, and then people are doing a lot of traveling. So let's go through exactly what a person needs to do, doesn't need to do, for the next day and a half from tonight to the next 2 nights or so, as people are leaving, going, coming, doing, traveling, etc. The halacha is as follows. If you are leaving your home 30 days before Pesach, meaning before Purim, and you are not planning on coming back to your house until after Pesach, then your house does not need Bedikas Chametz. That doesn't apply to anybody in this room currently, because wherever you are right now, you certainly are either planning on being here or planning on being somewhere else, but you haven't left home in the last 28 days or so, meaning you're here now, which means that even if you are leaving for Pesach, you have to do Bedikas Chametz in the home that you are living in, where you are right now in Boca Raton, Florida. You have to do Bedikas Chametz. That Bedikas Chametz needs to be done at night without a bracha, the night before you leave. That's the correct time to do it. The night before you leave, that is when you are going to be doing Bedikas Chametz, and you are going to be doing so without a bracha. When you get to wherever you are going to be going for Pesach, on Thursday night, you are going to be doing Bedikas Chametz there as if that was your home. Meaning, if you are going to an Airbnb, if you are going to a hotel, if you are going to someplace in Orlando, you're renting a house, whatever it might be, you're going to do Bedikas Chametz there with the candle and with the feather and with the wooden spoon, all the accoutrements. And on that you are going to make a bracha. You're going to make a bracha on that. Al Biur Chametz, and you're going to search. That is for anybody that is leaving now and is planning on going for Pesach. What happens if you are planning on leaving now and coming back after Pesach? How much of your house do you need to check? So this is an important and interesting question. Do you need to check your whole house, or can you get around it by renting out your house to a non-Jew, meaning putting on the Bedikas Chametz form that all of the Chametz in the house and all of the house is rented to the non-Jew? So this is a machlokes haposkim. Why is it machlokes haposkim? Because while it is true that any house that is rented out to a non-Jew does not require Bedikas Chametz, since we are already within the 30 days before Pesach, your home is already chayiv in Bedikas Chametz. So to rent your house to a non-Jew and skirt the obligation of Bedikas Chametz is a debate in the person whether or not that works. How do we resolve the problem? We resolve it by saying, let's assume nobody's going to be in your home in Boca Raton for the entirety of Pesach. You're going to be in Orlando, you're going to be in New York, you're going to be Eretz Yisrael, wherever you're going to be. You're going to come back after Pesach. What do? What you do is you sell all of your chametz and rent all of the space in your house aside from one room. Meaning, you are going to do Bedikas Chametz in your home, in that one room, the night before you leave, and the rest of it, all good and well. Put that on your sale of chametz form. You have no concern about Bedikas Chametz in those other places, because any chametz that's there, you have sold to a nachri, you've sold to a non-Jew. Did you do Bedikas Chametz? Yes. Where did you do it? In the one room that you did Bedikas Chametz in, without the bracha. You checked that room. You were yotzei the chiyuv, the mitzvah midrabanan, the obligation that the chachamim said. That is true if you are not planning on coming back until after Pesach. What if you are planning on coming back in the middle of Chol Hamoed? So if you're planning on coming back in the middle of Chol Hamoed, so this is considerably more complicated. Because if you're planning on coming back, then you have the concern of you need to make sure that there isn't chametz lying around that people are potentially going to pick up and eat. Which means that the Bedikas Chametz that you're going to do if you're coming back Chol Hamoed is the whole house. You need to make sure that you've cleaned up your whole house. You need to have Bedikas Chametz in the entirety of your house. Doesn't help you to sell the whole house to a nachri aside from one room, because unless you're all planning on living in that one room until the end of Pesach, you should check the rest of the house as you would normatively do. Again, that Bedikas Chametz is not going to get a bracha because it is not on the night of Bedikas Chametz, meaning on Thursday night this year. So, if you are leaving tomorrow morning to go to New York, what you're going to do is do Bedikas Chametz tonight in the whole house if you are planning on coming back, or one room if you're not planning on coming back until after Pesach. And then when you get up to New York, or Orlando, or Eretz Yisrael, or whatever, you're going to do Bedikas Chametz on Thursday night with the bracha, etc. Ad kan clear? Good? Excellent. There is an interesting debate amongst the poskim whether or not when you are doing the Bedika before the 14th, or this year the 13th of Nisan, do you put out the 10 pieces of bread? The debate rolls out as follows. The reason that we put out 10 pieces of bread is, one, to make sure that you check appropriately, and two, because of reasons that there is a ratz in Kabbalah. According to all of the poskim, both of those things are true, even if you are doing that before the night of the 13th this year. Meaning, if you check tonight, you still want to make sure that you check correctly, so you want to put out some pieces of chametz that you're going to check, and you want to make sure that the kavanas, according to the Arizal, you yotze those kavanas as well. However, some of the poskim point out that if you are leaving before Leil Yudalad, or this year Leil Yud Gimel, and you put out 10 pieces of bread, there is more of a concern that you might lose one of those pieces, and that would be considerably more concerning, because if you lose that, you got a lot of searching to do, and there's nervousness involved. My recommendation is the following. If you are planning on coming back for Pesach, planning on coming back at some point during Chol Hamoed, you should do the check with the 10 pieces, Kedas Uchadin, all of it. All of it. As you would normatively do, because this is the house that you are going to be staying in, and you want to make sure that you've checked everywhere. If you are planning on renting out the whole house to a Nachri, and you are only going to be doing Bedika in one room, I don't think that you need to put out the 10 pieces of bread there. There is one final permutation that we need to consider, and that is what happens if you are renting out your home to a Yisro. Like, you're leaving for Pesach, and you have somebody that's coming to stay in your house. So what do you do in such a situation? Are you chayiv in Bedika? Are they chayiv in Bedika? Who's going to do Bedika? The first thing that you need to note is that you need to make sure that you've cleaned your house for Pesach. That's important, because otherwise you're going to be machshel the people that are coming to stay by you. Meaning, if there's chametz lying around, there's like little kids running around, and somebody finds a Twizzler in your kid's bedroom. So that's chametz. That's a big problem. You got to make sure that it's cleaned out of all of the chametz. If you have a family that's coming to stay in your home and they are coming before Thursday night, so then they can do bedikas chametz there for you, meaning they are your shaliach for bedikas chametz. That's the correct way to do this. You don't do bedikas chametz before you leave. They're going to do bedikas chametz on your behalf when they come to your house on Thursday afternoon. But if they're not coming until Friday morning, so then you do need to do bedikas chametz, and you are doing bedikas chametz for them. Meaning whoever is there, whichever family is going to be in your home on the night of Yud Gimel, which is Thursday night this year, they need to do bedikas chametz. They can either be you as a shaliach for the people that are staying there, or, meaning, and you do that before you leave, or them as a shaliach for you. Now, final consideration is if you have already left home, you're already traveling, you're not home, nobody's going to be staying at your house, and you did not do bedikas chametz, Baruch Hashem, today we have something called the telephone. You can call, text, WhatsApp, email, carrier pigeon, whomever you want. Whoever you put on your chametz form has the keys so that the Nachri can get into his chametz. So call them and say, hi, can you do bedikas chametz for me? Meaning, I haven't done it. You're chayiv in it. You have a chiv midrabanan that you need to do bedikas chametz in your house because you left before 30 days. So you need to do bedikas chametz. If you haven't done it, call somebody and have them do it on your behalf. Now, if you're the lucky winner and somebody asks you, can you come and do bedikas chametz in my house? So this is where the Shulchan Aruch writes that if you are checking multiple homes, you only need to make one bracha. Meaning you make one bracha, you check your house, you go over to your neighbor's house, you check their house, you don't need an additional bracha, unless there is hefsek Hesach Hadas, there's a big gap in between. They only remembered midnight on Thursday night that this is the case, whatever the case is. Those are pretty much all the permutations, combinations that you will need to know in terms of Bedika's Chametz. And after the Bedika, regardless of when or where you are, on Thursday night you are going to be saying Kol Chamira, you're going to be saying the Bitul Chametz, of the Chametz that you do not know about. You are not going to be Mevatel, this is the regular Bedika's Chametz, you're not going to be Mevatel the Chametz that you do know about, because you still need Chametz for Shabbos. You still need your Lechem Mishnah for Friday night and for Shabbos morning, and Shalosh Shudas, if you are going to be able to fit in 3 meals for Shabbos. But either which way, you're going to need to have your chametz that you're not going to be mevatel. When you do the biur chametz on Friday morning, at that point in time, you are going to burn the chametz before 12:05 p.m. in Boca Raton, Florida, and you're not going to say bitul chametz at that point in time, because the time of isur chametz is not until Shabbos. On Shabbos, before 12:05 p.m., that's when you're going to be mevatel all of the additional chametz that you might or might not have seen. That's what you say, the adana u'delay adana, the chamite u'delay chamite, the bi'arte u'delay bi'arte. That's where you're going to say the bitul of all of those pieces of it. That's going to be on Shabbos morning. What about any additional chametz that you have that you were not able to eat? Say what?
10:50.
No, you have to finish eating before 10:50.
When you just finish the beer by 12.
The beer is by 12:05, 12:06, right? Meaning you have to finish eating all your chametz by 10:50, but beer is 12:05 p.m. What happens if you have any additional chametz? You didn't manage. You were a little bit too generous with your divvying up of challah, pita, tortilla, barekas, whatever you thought that people were going to be more excited to eat chametz than they really were. So you have a number of options. Option number one is flush it down the toilet. That's option number one. Option number two is, and somebody asked this question on the chat today, can you give it to a nachri to put in their garbage? Yes, you can hand it to a nachri and say, I'm putting this in your garbage. That's fine. That's fine. And then you can be mevatel it in their garbage. If it's in your garbage, you can't be mevatel it, because your garbage still belongs to you. Hare, the garbage can is your property. So even if you roll it out to the street, it's your garbage. It's your garbage can. It's still in your rishus. You can't be mevatel if it's in your property. That doesn't work. You can put it in the nachri's property as long as you ask them permission. Otherwise, that would be gezel, right? You're not allowed to use somebody's property without their permission. Or you can take it to like a public, garbage outdoors, whatever, dump place, whatever, and be mevatel it there. If you don't have any of those options, you can pour bleach on it and then put it in your garbage. Yeah.
Can't you just put it with the chametz that you're selling that's in your house?
No, because the sale took place already on Friday. The sale is chal on Erev Shabbos.
It's interesting. It's good.
No, that's he's not interested in that. So, meaning it's not the sale is already chal. You've sold whatever you've sold, right? Otherwise, you're eating his chametz on Shabbos. That's not nice. That's geneva, right? He'll forgive you, but it's probably not good midas to like steal Lechem Mishnah. Ad kan, all of the possibilities for Bedika, Biur and Bitul. For those that have not yet done Mechira, I suggest you get it done. We'll be selling still tonight, tomorrow, as much as possible. Try get it done ASAP. And Be'ez Hashem Yisbarach, everybody should have a wonderful what? Thursday, so yeah, absolutely. Be'ez Hashem Yisbarach, we will try to get everything taken care of. And a wonderful